condo you got. Well, hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday night. I'm Tia Knapp, and I'm thrilled to be here with my dear friend, Dr. Michael Gross.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Michael has been my spiritual mentor for a while now, several years, and I am so blessed that he takes his time every Thursday night to bring this powerful message to you. So I will just briefly introduce him. He is a professional keynote speaker, energy transformational coach, entrepreneur, and the author of The Spiritual Primer, applying God's 12 transformational laws to reawaken your soul by reconnecting to God, the true source, to experience your true sources, love, joy, and happiness. I know that Michael's been in the field of spirituality, helping people for over 30 years, if not more. It might be 40. I don't know, Michael, but for a very long time. And all I can say is that Michael has totally, totally enriched my life in so many ways. And I truly honor you for taking the time to come and share your wisdom with the rest of us, because you have so much to share with us. And I don't want to keep anything more. Michael has done this for a very long time. As I said, he's a spiritual teacher, multidimensional healer, transformational coach, and he's exceptionally skilled in all aspects of soul, oversoul, vibrations, frequencies, body timing, life force energies, and more. He comes with many accolades, many accomplishments, but I'll just leave that for another time. I'll put his contact information in the comments so that all of you will have an opportunity to reach out to him. And if you have questions for Michael or comments, we will address those at the end. He channels his information, and I'd like to have it so that he doesn't get interrupted by me asking all those questions. So we'll do that at the end. Okay, Michael?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you and mute myself out. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining me. So many things are happening around the planet. Those of you who are in the United States watching me heard about the potential tsunami that after Russia had an earthquake off the coast of Russia. Then we've heard about now the flooding in New York City that's taking place. Very hot and humid throughout the United States. Been hot here in the state of Washington, but not quite like it is in other areas. I know I was talking to my son in Durham, North Carolina. It was 107 degrees on Sunday with humidity to match, very heavy. So everything's been beginning to, let's say, shake us up. And that's what I desire to talk about. When I talk about shaking us up, it means for us to use critical thinking. It means for us to take time and take a deep breath and listen to the thoughts of our soul, an old thing that I talk about. But really, it's time now. And if you're feeling the desire that you need to stock up on food or water or whatever, or gasoline or whatever, then just go ahead and do that. What's the worst thing if you stock up on water and food, nothing happens? You're going to use it. What's your investment? You're investing in the future for food, or you need gasoline. You may be in one of those areas where there could be an earthquake or could be a breakdown. As we know in California, when it gets really hot, the power breaks down. And I'm sure there are other areas that occur. But rather than looking at all that and criticizing and judging, my message is very strong. The message that I wish and desire to share with you is take a minute, stop, and smell the roses. So many people I talk to today, they're worried about money. They're worried about, their relationships. They're worried about how they're going to be able to take a vacation, or they're worried about the expenses, how expensive they are. And politically throughout the world, there's so much political bashing. You really don't know what to believe. Well, we have to stop for a moment and say, what is critical thinking? It means, does it feel right? Does it smell right? Does it taste right? Is it right? So many people are now going to AI, which is great. AI, there's a place for it. However, AI gets its information from where? From social media. And if it gets this information from social media, then is it really true, or is it, for example, if I post a number of times that all oranges are dark brown, eventually you go to AI and AI will say oranges are oranges or dark brown. And people will take that, quote unquote, as I was talking to somebody today, the gospel. We use critical thinking. So back in the day when I was riding my horse and buggy, what we would do is we went to the library and we go to Encyclopedia Britannica. There was another one, we look it up. And as somebody pointed out to me, well, maybe not all the information in Encyclopedia Britannica was 100% accurate. That's true, but it was based on some research. And then through critical thinking, you would decide, does it fit? Is it right? And you might want to check it out. Now, today we go onto the internet or AI and then we fact check. How do you know that information is fact checked correct? Is it politically motivated? Is somebody trying to turn around and something negative? I see on YouTube and Facebook, this person died, that person died, they never died. So much critical information that's coming through that is so, let's say, unnerving and insecure. How do you find the harmony and balance in what's happening on the planet? Mother Earth is now going through awakening. Well, you would probably say, how is she going through an awakening? With earthquakes, volcanoes, hurricanes, tornadoes, tsunamis, flooding, blah, blah, blah. She is cleansing, working with Mother Nature to begin anew and renew herself. It's kind of like, I would like you to understand, it's kind of like this. And what I say like this is, you're getting rid of the old. It's like you're going to be selling your house or you're going to be redoing your house. You get rid of old furniture. You get rid of things that have been laying around for 20 years that you thought you needed and it's collecting dust. I don't need this and I don't need that. And I was just looking at all the beautiful things I have in storage. And I'm going, what the hell do I need all this for? So this is kind of a cleansing that's going through. But I also wanted you to all understand something a little bit more in depth. And that is when we talk about in depth, we talk about the Big Bang Theory. You're probably wondering, why am I going with it along with this? Just bear with me. So the Big Bang Theory is when the universe, they claim, started. Just for a moment, play along with me and just imagine there's all these atoms, particles, molecules, subatomic structure, yada, 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 and they all have an inner intelligence. Anything that is comprised of energy has an intelligence. And here's all these separate parts thinking, where am I? What if? What if? And it began to coagulate. And when they did, there was a Big Bang. A great awakening is the Big Bang. And all of a sudden, the universe was created. Then we decided, well, the true source decided, what if? Think I'll break a piece of me apart, calling your soul, and go out and experiment and report back to me what is occurring. In other words, I'm living your life through you because you are part of me, just like you are part of your ancestors, the DNA and so on. But I'd like to have you look at it a different way as I was explaining something to someone. So as we know, a woman ovulates and she produces an egg up to a certain age. And if the egg is not used, the body disposes of it. Well, now we know that, if we use the male sperm and it enters into the woman's body, and they say there are millions of them, they must not be too smart because only one or two can get in there and the others kind of fade. But what happens? That egg gets fertilized, bang. And what happens? A new life is formed. Think about that. So think about the Big Bang Theory with all this energy separated, coming together and creating what we call a universe. In this case, you're creating a new life form, which, as we know, is the fetus. All right. And that's happening in the animal kingdom, lions, tigers, dogs, so on and so forth. That's happening all over the place. But also, one of the things that when I used to live on a farm 15, 16 years ago, my deceased wife and I had 40 acres. And there was a coal mine. And I knew in enough time years, I'd be rich if I lived a couple hundred years. Of course, with coal under pressure produces what? Diamonds. I said, yeah, I'll produce all these diamonds. By that time, if I'm going to be around 200-300 years, people say, well, we don't need diamonds anymore. But just a little humor. But everything goes through a Big Bang and recreates itself. So we talk about, with a reproduction of a child, we talk about the universe. We also can talk about the weather, and we can also talk about Mother Earth. This is what I call the Big Bang. I know it's stretching it. She's rebirthing, giving new. We have Mount St. Helens. I wasn't living here at the time. It was a horrible volcano went off in Lahar and burned thousands of acres. You know what? It's now lush and green and growing back. That's the Big Bang. It's recreated itself, cleansed itself, and recreated. And that's what you are doing right now. So, what's happening? You are given the opportunity to recreate yourself. Well, how do I recreate myself? Let's see, I think I want a Rolls Royce, I want a Rolex watch, blah, blah, blah. No, it has nothing to do with materiality. It has to do with you as an individual. Are you listening to your soul? Are you seeking what makes you happy? Really important. I have a house guest, and we went to a little town that's right on the coast of Washington. We call it the Sound, the ocean. And we sat there and had, yes, iced tea and a snack, no liquor, and just enjoyed watching the ocean, watching the sound, listening to people talk, smelling the salt air, feeling the breeze from the ocean. It was so beautiful. And there were times it was the sound of silence. There were times we had great conversation. When have we stopped to do that? And then there was a couple next to me, two women, one of which is yelling and criticizing everything that's gone on in her life. And I'm saying to myself, you're sitting there with a glass of wine, having, lunch or dinner, whatever she was having. And it's like, can't you stop and smell the flowers? Can't you enjoy your life? Can't you just know that there's a great change? And this change you are part of, because you see, you signed up to be part of this change. And of course, I've been hearing about a new earth for over 30 years. And I went, yeah, I blew it off. Yeah, nothing's happened. However, I believe there's going to be a shift. And the shift is coming first in our consciousness. Because you see, there's a symbiotic relationship, not only with every human, but Mother Earth, the nature spirits, the animal, mineral, and vegetable kingdom. There is a symbiotic relationship. Did you ever think that we help create this planet? That everything has a purpose, everything. So if you turn around and look at a rock, okay, what would you do with a rock? Well, you can build a house with it, can't you? You can make a beautiful garden with it. You can make a road out of it, gravel. You can do all those things. And what about Mother Earth? What is she doing? Hey, I got all these minerals to supply and take care of you. I got this storehouse full to bring you joy and happiness. So what are we doing? Well, we're turning around and saying, let's do this, let's exhaust this and let's exhaust that. And we're not thinking that this symbiotic relationship has to do what we're thinking about, what we're experiencing. You individually who are listening to me, you are the solution to make a difference in this planet. You're now being awakened, and you have to listen to that gut feeling, that intuitive feeling, or words of the soul or thoughts of the soul, because it's there. But again, how do you discern that? Well, of course, we sit there and, well, is this for real? Am I making this up? Remember, here's the key. If it comes from the ego, it has to justify everything. If it's just a thought, call Tio, call Michael. That's it. Well, why should I call Tio? Why should I bother? I don't know what, blah, 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 blah. You call him. Gee, I was just thinking of you, and I wanted to discuss something with you, or, I'm going fishing. How about joining me, or whatever it is? It's the simplest things in life that we've forgotten. We've become so wrapped up into materiality. But more importantly, why are you going to materiality? Why are you looking around to become wealthy? Why are you looking around to make life better? Because you're living in fear. You're afraid that if you don't have all these trappings, you won't be happy and enjoy life. Yet, has any of you ever planted like some vegetable, and then you watch it grow from a seed. You remember the excitement you had? Wow, look what I did. But what did you do? You grew that. Mother Earth gave life to that seed. That seed is giving life to you. Have you ever thought about that? When we go to the grocery store these days and they have all these foods with all these chemicals, tons of chemicals, and it's like, is this really healthy for my body? Is this really, really right? You know, these hamburgers that they say taste like meat, they're so loaded with sodium and other chemicals. You think you're doing wonderful by not eating meat. Well, congratulations. You know, you get all these chemicals in your body. Yeah. Do you ever think what the chemicals could be doing to your body? Do you ever think about that? No, it's easy and convenient. And have you really stopped to have a nice one on one conversation that is not politically motivated, just for fun and joy? Have you ever stopped listening to your children if you're too busy doing everything? And have you stopped to spend time with your children? Because, you know, they're all alone and they want to go off and do their own things like you and I did eventually. We'd spend that time with them. Because I will tell you, time you spend with the loved ones, they will remember forever. They may not recognize it now, but come a short period, they will remember that. Because, as I say, you are unlimited. Well, if you're unlimited, why can't I do this and why can't I do that? How come this is not happening? How come that's not happening? Well, I often say, maybe it's not happening because it's not right for you. Maybe your soul says, no, 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 there's a much better way. Or maybe is that it's not happening because you're doubting it and don't feel worthy. Anything you doubt, you do not feel worthy. Isn't that interesting? Anything you doubt. And I bet there are people here who are listening to me will give me an argument. But if I talk to you for a few minutes, I'll point it out. And if you're really honest, you'll say, yeah, you're right, Michael. Others will deny it, deny it, deny it, deny it. And I will tell you personally, I listen to people deny it, come up with all kinds of reasons. Yep, as soon as you come up with the reasons, you've fallen into your own trap. And your own trap is you don't feel you deserve it or worthy of it. Then you go around trying to prove everybody you're successful. I don't know how to measure success, but I will tell you how to measure success for you. And that is if you feel happy and joyous. And like, I've got a new car. I've got a $150 million home. I've got this and that. Look at me. Now, you know why? Because you're always looking for the next fix. You have a drug addiction, and the drug addiction is to materiality, to make yourself feel good and important. Who the heck cares if you have a 50 million, 5 million, $2 million house? I am not impressed. But show me a home where you're happy and joyous and feel comfortable with. Then you have a home that's filled with love. Because all of us are being asked by our soul and by the true source. Take a look at your trappings. Take a look at what you're addicted to. Take a look what you're fearful of. Take a look at what you're wondering whether you should do this or that. Take a look at your relationships and take a look at your health. Really important because every emotion, positive and negative, ends up going into your body. That's why you have heart conditions, high blood pressure, and so on and so forth. I ask you all to ponder those thoughts, but I know Tio has some questions or some information she'd like to share. So please do.
I
Meanwhile, I'm
do.
going to take a sip.
Okay. One of the things that you said was uh, um, about your self worth. Finding your self worth is not in materiality. It's actually the moment when your soul begins to sing. Is in my, what I'm understanding. It's like when your soul sings and you're feeling good, and you surround your when you feel that good and you feel that incredibly loving, then you share that. And when you're sharing that with others, it sends out a ripple. And I think that that's something that we really need to hold on to right now because of the chaos that's going on in our world. And We don't really have any questions, but there's a comment here from Darshan, and he says he believes that the Great Awakening is happening, and it all begins within each of us. And that's exactly what you're encapsulating for us right now, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
It's
Thank you, Darshan. You're exactly right. And, I call this the Great Gathering, which, as Darshan said, that's part of the Great Awakening. And the gathering is for those of us who are searching to find love and joy and happiness in our life. We're going to be attracted to each other's. And I will tell a lot of you who are listening, over the next several years, you're going to be relocating to an area where there's more like-minded people, unless you live in that area that's like-minded people. Your direction in life is not by what you say, what you feel, and what you accept. There are no losers in life unless you feel you're a loser. So what you think you create, you experience. One of the quotes from the True Source is, look in the mirror. What do you see? Do you see failure, or do you see success? And sometimes people go, I don't know, I don't know. And I've decided now I'm going to hold your feet to the fire. Don't tell me you don't know. You really know, but you don't want to mention it. And then the analogical mind, which I call the analytical and logical mind, gets in there, analyzes every little thing and examines every little thing. And then you get lost in looking at it instead of just listening to your heart and your soul. You know immediately what's right or wrong. And the most important part, when you experience something, as the True Source said, there's no failure. You learn what worked and didn't work, and acknowledge that and give thanks for it. Because whatever you give thanks to the universe for, the universe goes, well, you like it, I'll give you more. But the universe, as they say, is neutral. And you're part of the universe. All of you listening to me is part of the universe. And therefore, if you want to punish yourself or think of yourself as inadequate, the universe said, no problem. You can attract that in your life. Or if you feel you're joyous and happy, no problem. You're going to attract that in your life. And here's a little tip. After you succeed of getting out of the gutter and getting yourself into a place of joy and happiness, you're going to be tested, not by the True Source. True Source is unconditionally loving, allowing, non-judgmental. Your soul said, hey, you got it right. You're going to face this once or twice more. And when you face it, nope, been there, done that. And then you'll get maybe a second test. Then it's over with forever. But it's your choice. So I appreciate everyone spending this half hour listening to me. There's more things that Tia and I will be covering and sharing with you. But please send in your thoughts, even if somebody doesn't have a thought now, but maybe a few days later, and we will address it. I would also like to remind everybody that as time goes by, we are going to have a lot of beautiful things happening, a lot of things to share. Tia, you wanted to say something?
Just real briefly, yes. Thank you. Darshan just added, and I love this. That's why I interrupted you. We are definitely attracting our like-minded friends, and it's so fun. And it is. When we find each other like that, it's almost like a family reunion. Don't you think, Michael?
Absolutely. I can't tell you how many souls that I've met from my past lives. This is the way it works for me. Michael, how do I know you? Why am I here? When would we know each other? I don't tell them we had a past life. They come up with that. It's just beautiful. So this is a great awakening, as Darshan said. Well, I'd like to remind everybody that on Tuesdays evenings, which is this evening, from 7 p.m. Pacific time to 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, what we do is Soul Awakening. And Soul Awakening is about you asking any question you so desire. And then, of course, with the Soul Awakening, there's a message. And in listening to the message on the Soul Awakening, what happens is it's recorded. First of all, on Tuesday evening, we do it on freeconferencecall.com. Tia, will you tell them how to contact us?
Absolutely. You just dial into number 202-926 1059 with the access code, Michael.
125-446-pound. One more time, please.
202-926-1059 and the code, Michael.
125-446-pound. So I invite all of you to join us. Ask any question. Hopefully I can answer it. And using that same area code, I want to share with you that the second Saturday of every month from 9:55 a.m. Pacific time to 11:01 Pacific time, we do mass consciousness healing. This is a pet project of mine. It's so beautiful. And I assure you, if you will join us, we talk for a few minutes, maybe there's a little humor. Then afterwards we go into a meditation. But here's what's beautiful. You, each one of you, become a conduit for the true source's unconditional love that permeates your body. And remember, nothing negative can live in the energy of love. And as it blossoms forth in your body, it's like a gigantic lotus opening up and then covering Mother Earth and everything that exists, no matter who they are, with unconditional love. I would invite all of you to join us, 9:55 a.m. to 11:01 a.m. It's an hour and 6 minutes, and we're pretty much within a minute or two we ended. So please share this. And to you, remind them one more time how they can get in touch with us.
Absolutely, Michael. It's the same number as the Tuesday night call. It's 202-926-1059 and the access code, Michael.
125-446-pound. Also, I would like to share that on the Tuesday night, Soul Awakening, I deliver a 10-minute message. This is recorded, a 10-minute message, and you can listen to it in your car while you're driving, if you're angry or upset, or just want to meditate or relax. And it's so important for all of you because there's a message that will touch your soul. And as I said before, there's around 391, 392. Tio, tell them how they can get in touch and listen to those messages.
Okay, that number for the recordings is 434-300-4170 and the access code, Michael.
125-446-pound. One more time, please.
434-300-4170 and the code, Michael.
125-446-pound. Here's the beautiful part. When you call in, freeconferencecall.com, it starts at recording number 3 and goes up. None of them are labeled. You heard me say this before. And when I said, oh my gosh, I forgot to label it, True Source said, you want to read through approximately 390 labels? That would take all day. Just choose a number, 127, 42, 197, whatever it is. And I can't tell you how many people said just what I needed to hear. So please, all of you, take advantage of this. Also, if you go to YouTube, Dr. Michael B. Gross at YouTube, you can see some I call the reruns, some of the messages, not all of them, of the award-winning photography by Tio Knapp with a quote of what I'm talking about. And again, that's 10 minutes long. So either way, use the phone or go to YouTube. You'll find more if you use the phone. But whatever your soul says, whatever you feel, follow through. It's so important. And that is something I desire for all of you to share. So what's the cost? Nothing. 10 minutes of your time may change your life. So please take advantage of it. Now, the next thing I would like to address before I get off the phone in this call is that for those of you who are new, listed in the information, I give you a complimentary session. It's 20 minutes to a half an hour. Sometimes it could be a little longer. I'm not going to try to sell you anything. I'll just end up with, I can be of any help. You know how to get in touch with me or just call me. And that's it. I'm not going to high pressure you, but I'm here to help you because you see, my mission and goal in life, the reason I incarnated, is for all of you to reconnect at your soul level to the true source. That's so important. And to understand your spiritual mission and goal to change your life, to change this planet. So please take advantage of it. And now, the next thing I want to share with you is this beautiful book, Healing the Holes in Your Soul, written by Tiu Nap. And as I humorously say, I know the guy that did the forward, and he just loved doing this for this beautiful soul. This is a story about survival. It's a story about unconditional love. It's a story about rebirth and new beginnings. It's encouraging, it's strong, it's strengthening, it gives you hope, and will help change your life. It's a must read.
Thank you, Michael. And I highly encourage everyone to start right here with this incredible book written by Dr. Michael Gross, the incredible man who's sitting next to me. And the reason I say that is because if it wasn't for him and all his guidance in this book that I've been reading, I poured over this book day after day. And the book that he's holding would not be in existence had it not been for all the work that he's done with me and all the things that have happened in my life. He talks about all these beautiful gifts that we have that we don't even realize that we have until you start learning more about tapping into your spiritual self, tapping into your soul, and understanding the difference between soul and ego. And I could go on and on and on, but definitely take Michael up on his complimentary offer because you're going to be so glad you did. You don't know what's in the future for you, but I do know this, that the gutter I crawled out of when Michael helped pull me out a little over 5 years ago, it's been an incredible journey in my life. I have done so many different things now, thanks to this incredible gentleman right next to me virtually. Take him up on it. You can get this book. You can get my book on Amazon. This one's not on Amazon right now, except for you can tell the story about Amazon, Michael. But to get this and to actually have a handwritten signature and a message inside, just contact us. One of us will get back to you. You can contact us. All the contact information is in the comments. So definitely, I honor you, Michael. I am thrilled to pieces I met you, and I will forever be right by your side to help you share your message with the world. That's how powerful he is. To me, this book is priceless. Thank you, Michael, for letting me have that few minutes.
Thank you so much for sharing that. You touched my heart. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to you. They've run out of books on Amazon, and they have a used book for $500. But I'm going to give you a deal. And the deal is, it's a special only for the rest of your life. You can purchase this book for $29.95 or $29.99, I guess it is. And it's free shipping. You're not going to get it overnight. It may take a few days or maybe a little longer, however the mail works. However, there'll be a special inscription in it addressing you. And there'll be a very powerful message because what I do is tune into each one of you and write a little message that'll help you on your path of enlightenment. So I want to thank all of you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your love. Thank you for sharing this. And thank you for everything you do to help this planet heal and make it better because you are unlimited. Thank you, everyone. Namaste.
Namaste.
We love you all. Have a great week.
Invite your friends.